What's going on out there, peeps? As you could clearly see, there is a stranger on our screen. I'm sure a lot of you are surprised for us to be together. But I did say in the video, just so you're aware, not that long ago, that me and you did reach out to one another. And we said our apologies, and as far as I was concerned, everything was squashed. So they still might be a little surprised to see you on my screen. You are here because she had brought something to my attention I thought was definitely worthy of talking about a little bit. And what did you get across your text?
That Iraq is just got licensed for foreign currency exchange.
So this is Iraq back in 2004. They were licensed for this, but there was a shitload of restrictions on there, just so you're aware. And the reason why that was brought up is because a lot of those restrictions are being lifted. And this is really good news for the Iraqi dinar. And I was trying to figure out a way to explain it to you. And I said, well, if being on the SWIFT system, if you're thinking football, if being on the SWIFT system is the football game, this step right here is like, now you're in a warm-up before the game. You know what I mean? It's really good news, and that's something that Iraq needed. Now, what'll happen is they'll warm up a little bit with this. They'll expand more. This is going to bring a lot of liquidity into the country, which is what they need. So basically what they're telling people is Iraq is getting ready to step in and start becoming a big player with the big dogs. But before they do, we want to make sure that all their ducks are in a row. And it's hard not to get overly excited about this a little bit. It is exciting. But, you know, I don't want to jump around with pom-poms and start going crazy because...
Oh, like me?
Yeah,
like me?
Well, I mean, look, there's a lot of people that hype everything up in the dinar community. And we were talking about this earlier. I said, you know, people hype up everything so much that after a while, it kind of loses its excitement. People are like, yeah, whatever, I heard it all before. And I don't want people to be feeling down because, like, yep, I keep hearing all this hype all the time. That's why I tend to not hype things up. This is really good news. Like I said, they've actually had this since 2004, but there was a lot of restrictions that were that are being lifted. This is not very far from them going onto the SWIFT system, sweetie, just so you're aware.
Pimpy, I got to say something. To hear this from you is like extra amazing because, you know, you do your research and you stay grounded for the most part. And for you to say that this is really good news and they are moving forward. And like based on our conversation earlier, you said they were already making moves to move forward, but now it's like they're rushing, which really made me like happy because it's coming from you. And it's really, really great to hear.
Well, I appreciate that. The funny thing about all this is, and I have no doubt that once people hear this video, they're going, nah, Pimpy, he's a negative guy. No, I'm not a negative guy. I don't understand how people get telling you the truth as something negative. It's really ironic. And you know what I mean. You know, I've said stuff and you've hit me with videos, and that's how we ended up, you know, exchanging pleasantries
and then
in our videos.
thanks to Nader. Yeah.
So yeah, you had a talk with Nader, I guess it was, and he was telling you, you have to really talk to Pimpy. He'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah, Nader is the man. It sucks that we couldn't get him on with us today, but I'm sure he has a reason why he couldn't be on. So.
Yeah, Nader's pretty busy. You know, it's really hard to catch me. So talk about timing. It's just when it comes to election season. Oh my God, for me, it's my channel used to have a lot of political videos on there, but then they took a channel away from me because of political views. So, you know, my concern was, well, I don't want to go through that crap again. So it's kind of hard to really educate people on what's going on political wise without getting too carried away and talking, you know, truths, and truths are not welcome on a lot of these platforms. So you have to be very, very careful. It's the same within the dinar community, the same with the Sarah Jacera. I've been in all those different arenas, and people don't want the truth. Because I have people go, well, why'd you say this about the Sarah Jacera? You used to talk about it all the time. I go, yeah, I'm the guy that told you guys the truth. And people are out there blowing smoke up your ass talking about, well, Trump has our military for another 90 days. Or when Trump flew the Air Force One into Switzerland, I was like, how much digging around do you guys actually do before you report this crap? Because it's not true. It doesn't get extended 90 days. That's the picture that you guys seen from him being over there in Switzerland was from the year before. I mean, it just do a little research, because if not, then you look like an idiot when you see all these things and you haven't done the research. And again, we have a lot of that in the dinar community. Usually I just go and I say what I want to say. Whatever the other people say, that's on them. But sometimes I can't help but feel like they're purposely or blatantly misleading people, which is not okay, because people will call me and they're really depressed and I feel bad for them. Well, so-and-so is going to happen tomorrow. I know, I heard it, but that's why you guys stay grounded. Don't get caught up in that. It's starting to happen again. You know what I mean? You can see people. I'm surprised. Let's see here. Where we at here? October? I'm surprised people haven't started releasing videos yet going, hey, the budget's coming up. It's going to be approved. And it can't be approved without the new rate in there. That's coming up, I'm sure, here anytime. Every year it's the same crap. So just...
But I think, sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
I think that this time Iraq is really ready. I think they were not ready before. I think things were getting hyped up and there's a lot of things that still needed to be done for Iraq to go international, to the international stage, and to be able to, like you say, play with the big boys. And I think with Soudani, I think he's made some huge moves, towards progress in Iraq. And as we'll talk about the dong and all that stuff later, I believe that, Iraq is pretty much ready to go international. And just like, my wealth manager said, and obviously the financial advisor, to get ready, things are really moving along quite quickly with Iraq. And then I don't know, we did talk about it, but all their digital stuff is going to be shut down tomorrow. So, and like you said, once it comes back up, it could come back up on the Swift, right? And then possible value increase, because you said you read something about the rate increase.
Yeah, I said, well, there's always a possibility. To me, what happened is their banking system, you got to remember, they are now into a new type of banking system. As a person who's done this, in the medical field, it's something similar. We switched from one type of accounting and billing system and revenue cycle system. We can't just switch over automatically. You have to, we have what's called a war room. So we have the old system going at the same time the new system is going. When we think we worked out all the kinks, then what will happen is over a weekend when everybody's gone, or what they'll do is they'll shut down all the things that are connected to it, make the switch, a permanent switch. And then you go back on, and it's at that time you're going to see if there's any more bugs and anything like that. But they've been doing it now, running it side by side for a year. So they've done plenty of tests. So my feeling is if they're shutting everything down, they must be now making a permanent move into the new banking system, which is the reform that we want. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I'm so happy to hear this from you. I'm so excited. I was trying to calm down before we did this video, because I'm it's actually in reality, when it's all the pieces start to come together, it makes you so happy, because so many people, Pimpy, are in desperate need. So many people are homeless, can't feed their kids. You know what I mean? Losing their houses. It's so horrible. And I'm a nurse and I do home health, and seeing how people live, it breaks my heart. I want to go to the store. I want to buy them food. I want to buy their kids food. People, the elderly, veterans are not, I had a patient the other day that's getting ready to get kicked out of his house, and he has to wait on the VA. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be able to have that's horrible. That's
it's happening everywhere. It really is. Now, that's interesting you should say that, because I had this long conversation with this couple about the Iraqi dinar, because they keep asking me about what's the deletion of the zeros. Why do you think this way? I go, people only hear what they want to hear. What I said about the Iraqi dinar and the deletion of the zeros and the exchange rate was this. There is this other possibility that could happen out there, and nobody's paying attention to it. So I said, there's another possibility that this can happen. They can delete the zeros, and then they turn around and change the exchange rate. And they're like, oh, no, you don't know what you're talking. Yeah, the hell, I don't know what I'm talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. What I'm saying to you is this. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but I'm saying there's a really high probability that that's going to happen. Of course, just like everybody else. These people think I like, being negative about shit. That's not being negative. You don't think I want to wake up in the morning and go, hey, Iraq has changed their exchange rate to 322, but they didn't remove the zeros? Man,
how fast are you going to the bank?
I'm going to run my neighbors over just trying to get to the damn store, or to the bank. Like I jokingly said one time, I'd run my grandmother over just to try to get the exchange rate. Try to get to the exchange, but, of course, we all want that. But I'm talking about what are the probabilities. So I never said it was definitely going to happen one way or the other. What I'm saying to you is be aware that these two things are there. Because you might wake up one morning, hear that the rate change happened. You're excited, but then you find out too that the deletion of the zeros took place. That will happen first, just so you're aware. If they do it that way, it's going to be the redenomination. They're going to announce a new type of currency. Redenomination, new banknotes, and without the zeros on there before they make the change in the exchange rate, if it happens that way, okay? We all got the same dinars. We're all crossing our fingers and hoping that the exchange rate takes place first before any type of redenomination. Who doesn't want that? Having said that, you are sadly mistaken if you think that money is for you. I'm not kidding. Because there's going to be a lot of people who become really rich. And in my opinion, you need to really start doing God's work. You are not going to get that kind of money for no reason. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of God's people, period, that are going to need help. And it's our job to help them. Listen to what I'm saying, though. Take care of you and your family. Some of you don't have a whole lot, so just take care of you. Don't worry about it. I'm talking about those individuals out there that's got millions of dollars. Take care of your bills. Make sure you're secured. Make sure you and your family are secure. Then start properly planning on how to allocate out the other money. Because here's what's going to really happen. If you're one of these people, like one of these lotto winners, you get millions of dollars and you don't do God's work, it is my opinion that you're going to end up just like them lotto people. You're going to shoot through all your money and have nothing left. And you're going to be back to square one, lose everything. And you're like, what the hell happened? Do God's work. That's the honest to God truth. There's people out there that need homes. You spoke about this. A lot of homeless people out there. There's some people that just need a little help with their home. You know what I mean? Not a lot to save their home. What is it to go in there and say, hey, what do you need? Here you go. Maybe they need something fixed up in their house. There's a lot of hungry people out there. There's more people on the streets than really needs to be. I remember one time when I was planning for the money, just in case they don't delete the zeros and we get the exchange rate, I want to build those homeless cities. The single houses? Buy some acreage and put a bunch of these single houses on there for these people. That's what I really want to do. And when I was in Texas, I was going to go meet with this guy who's already set up these single house units for homeless people. So he gave them the home. This is your house. No, you don't have to worry about no mortgage, no nothing. When you leave, though, the house goes back to the person, but you're welcome to stay there for as long as you need. So there are some people out there that just need to get a little bit of a boost. So let's say they stay in there. There's no bills they got to worry about. Nothing at all. Just, food. We'll help with the food and everything else. If you're just trying to get your shit together, if you're just trying to get clean, if you're just trying to whatever, get it done, get back on your feet. And if you want to go back out there in the world, go have at it. But we'll be your security net. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just like, and we'll get to who in a little bit after we, give information. But my thing is that I think it's a blessing from God, and I think that God would want people to be helped because not everyone is aware of this investment. And I think that if you're blessed enough to have this money, I completely agree with you. You need to help people instead of going and buying mansions and, 10 cars and all this bullshit. Yeah. Sorry for cursing. You know what I mean?
No, there's going to be people that do that.
Unnecessary.
You know what? If you
and like you say, your famous line. What's your famous line? Hookers, no cocaine off hookers' asses.
Yeah,
or
if
something.
you're snorting coke off fucking hookers' asses and blowing money like that, man. Look, I'm not going to deny it. Look, we get millions of dollars. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to take a few $1,000s and put to the side, and I make my Vegas trips anyways. So then I'll just go to Vegas, have a little fun, but I'm not going to go there and get crazy. Don't do that, man. You go over there snorting coke off hookers' asses and stuff like that. You don't need to do that. More power to you if you do. But if you shoot through all your money, you're back to square one and you're broke as hell after you had millions, because they're perfect example are those lotto winners. They'll win $200 million. How the hell are you shitting through $200 million like a year and a half? Oh my gosh. I don't even know how that's even possible.
Well, because they're just careless with their money. And I think people need to diversify. And I don't know if you agree with me on this, but obviously gold and silver, you're very knowledgeable. And, people should buy gold and silver, crypto, real estate. That's just my opinion. They should, get into hard assets so that, if it was to be like a bank run, what is that called? Not a bank run, a bail-in that, and, FDIC is only 250K that, you can protect your money, and putting it in hard assets is the way to do it. Do you agree? No, yes, maybe.
Yeah, but people have to be careful about the FDIC, the insured part, because they only have so much money, and the odds of there actually being money for you is 0 to none. So don't think they're going to protect you. That money is going to be dried up more quick. You're going to get pennies on a dollar. So the best thing, in my opinion, you do, and this is just my opinion, look, we're all anticipating something happening to the market. Invest in gold and silver. Good Lord, look at gold and silver taking off like a bat out of hell.
Mm-hmm.
So buy that, put it to the side. That money ain't going nowhere. Its purchasing power has never changed. And just wait, because there is going to be some type of market correction or market crash. When it happens, you definitely want to be holding physical gold and silver in your possession. Now, as soon as the market bottoms out and it starts to look like it's rebounding consistently, what you should already be looking at is, what stocks do we know are going to grow again? You know what I mean? Find the big stocks, buy them dirt cheap, ride them back up. You have those types of investments. Real estate will go back up. Real estate would be the big one. You know what I mean? If you go buy apartment complexes, quadplexes, storage units, stuff like that, those are the types of things you want to invest in. I wouldn't invest so much in stocks or bonds. That's just not my thing. Definitely gold, silver, real estate. Real estate would be big. Apartment complexes, this is, what do you call that? Cash money income that comes every month because people pay rent. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
yep.
And a lot of people are going to be in apartments if the market really crashes because they won't be able to afford homes.
Yeah. And then, also, it's you're you're making money off your money. So
Yes.
That's what my financial advisor, you always want to double your money. You always want to invest in something that's going to make you money, not lose money, but make money. And,
well, one of the things that's the best type of thing that people are passing down heritage wise is gold and silver. Okay. I've done this example a million times. Like back in the 30s, it cost like, what was it, $4,100 or something like that for a house? I said it was 147 ounces of gold is what it cost. So, from 1930 with almost 100 years since then, if you take that same 147 ounces of gold, you still could buy a house, like a really nice house. All right. So the purchasing power never changes. A lot of these rich peoples, they keep adding to their gold and silver stacks. That's what the Rothschilds and them do. So if you teach your kids as they grow up the value of holding on to gold and silver, then they could keep adding and just keep it in your family. Now, obviously, it's there if you run into some kind of emergency situation, but what you're trying to do is avoiding it. So basically, you don't want to invest in it and then go spend it later on. What you want to do is invest in it and then hopefully pass it on to the next generations, and they don't go screw it off. That they go, well, look, we have that there if we need it. It's an emergency. And then they build it. And you build in generational wealth. It gets to a point where your kids, your grandkids, they don't have to struggle their whole life. You know what I mean? They go out, build businesses, invest. Instead of wondering when their next paycheck is, they have that to fall back on. But if they're educated in economics, in finances, in investing, then they'll know what to do with the money. They'll just keep adding to it, the gold and silver, which is what you should do.
Yeah. Let's talk about the dong. You were telling me earlier that Vietnam is ready to go. As
No, what I
far
was saying,
as
when it comes to Vietnam dong, here's what a lot of people don't understand. All the things that we're waiting for Iraq to go through, Vietnam's already went through it. The only thing, the issue that they're having is their politicians are so corrupt. It's so bad there. But recently they just had an election in which a general, I think, was elected to be the president. And he was making a conversation, or he was making a point that, they're cleaning up all the corruption. I mean, week after week, he kept looking in there. They're arresting one politician, hundreds of politicians. So hopefully they've been able to get rid of the corruption. You know what I mean? They've been able to wean those people out, is what you're hoping. And then if they did that, well, then what you're hoping for is not the corruption's not there. There could be some changes made to exchange rate. They superficially keep it down. And people always wonder why they do that. Well, what happens is politicians, they get paid in U.S. dollars. Then what they go back and exchange it for their currency. So they're living high off the hog like kings and stuff like that. That's why when it comes to our governments, our politicians are so easily corrupted. It's the same everywhere. It's the same here. We got insider trading taking place here. Nobody's being accounted for. There's a lot of people that are, let's say there's an organization and you cut a bill through Congress and they get paid a bunch of money, and then they turn around and recycle that money right back to you through, nonprofit organizations giving you a so-called donation for your election. Or what politicians have been doing recently is building these foundations. You know what I mean? The Clinton Foundation, the John McCain Foundation, because you could donate to them. And unlike you as a politician, there's no limit to the amount of donations. So if you want to bribe one of our politicians, all you got to do is create a nonprofit organization, a foundation, and just say, hey, I'm going to donate to that foundation. That's all you got to do. They're freaking corrupt, man. It's really bad.
So you think that the dinar is going to go first, and then like maybe a week to 2 weeks later, a few days, the dong will go?
No, it's really hard to tell because, again, we're relying on politicians doing their jobs. Now, you talked about al-Sadani earlier, right? Al-Sadani definitely has been doing some big things for the Iraqi people. And he's sincere and is doing the right thing because the corrupt people that put him into power now are trying to figure out how to remove him. So we got an election coming up. And with this election coming up, al-Sadani is telling everybody out there, look, I want to continue to be there for you. And if the Iraqi people don't have state TV like we do here, brainwashing everybody, and and you've been keeping up on all the things he's accomplished, then you definitely want him back in the office. So there's always that. You got an election coming up. What does that mean? So we got to wait to find out. You remember what happened last election? It took them a whole year to seat their cabinet. Look, they need to get rid of the coordinating framework. All those people, especially Maliki, those people are all corrupt. As long as they continue to make millions and millions of dollars off their corruption, they stay in power. All they do is rotate positions. Well, this time you be the president, and this time you be the prime minister, and they just swap. And people have to wake up from there, and you have to have them removed. The part that's hard is these people are backed by Iran. And when I say backed by Iran, if you try to remove them, you can have Iran come over real quick with an army and squash things. And so that's the sad part about being these Iranian-backed puppets. But the people have to do something sometime. They have to get rid of those corrupt leaders that have been there since since they got rid of Saddam Hussein. They've been in power. So it's really bad. You got to get rid of them.
As far as we're talking about Iran, it looks like Israel is about to attack the Iranian nuclear plants. And apparently somebody leaked that information.
Now, look, Israel could have took Iran out a long time ago. So a lot of this is just, powder puff play right now. It's just bullshit. I think there's a bigger agenda that both countries play a part of, that want. Let's put it this way: the people that we're really up against are super evil people, And they've been wanting to reduce the world's population for the longest time. It's easier to control a smaller amount of people than 9 billion freaking people. So what do? All of a sudden now this virus comes along and everybody's getting sick and wipes out millions. All of a sudden the vax comes along and wipes out millions. Oh, climate change.
Watch what we say.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah.
what we say.
So climate change, we got climate change happening, but then we find out, oh, wow, wait a minute. The government's actually using weather as a weapon. And people are like, you can't do that. I said, here, are you kidding me? I have this whole video that came out on the History Channel back in 2009 when they told everybody, and the people proved it. They go, look, the weather is being used as a weapon. If you don't believe that, then you're fooling yourself. They have the ability to cause droughts. They have the ability to cause floods. They have the ability, snowstorms, earthquakes. There's nothing that they can't do now. And that's dangerous. Now they know how to control lightning, which is really super dangerous. You know what I mean? If you want to kill somebody, make it look like it's natural cause. Let somebody get zapped with lightning. Whap. Oh, wow, it's too bad I got zapped with lightning. How are you going to say, well, the government zapped I got with lightning? People just think you're crazy. But it is an actual legitimate weapon. And so there's that happening. Any way possible to cause people to die so that we can lower the amount of the world's population. We did a whole thing about all these food processing plants catching on fire. I mean, there's one after the other after another. Then they were wiping out all of our livestock, chickens, cows, turkeys, ducks, killing them, saying, oh, they're dying from bird flu, crap like that. I go, you guys, when you start paying attention to all these things, it starts to paint a bigger picture. You know what I mean? This isn't a conspiracy. You're like, holy crap. You guys, you could put them all together and say, look, what are they really, truly trying to do? Pollute our water. We know that. That's why you guys better get an infiltration. What do you call it? Infiltrator for water.
Population control.
Yeah. But that's the kind of people that are behind Kamala Harris, okay? Those are the...
Watch what we say.
Oh, man, that part. But it's politics are where they are. This, I'm really hoping for Trump to win, but the truth of the matter is these people can't afford that. They can't at all. Our intelligence agencies are the one that's controlling everything. They can't afford for this to happen. Trump was very close and naive the first time in office. This time around, he knows what he's doing, and they know that he is going to change the way things are for the better. Come on, man. Look at this team. You have Elon Musk. You have Elon Musk going through and auditing the departments. That is going to be crazy. That right there. Like, where the hell? All this thing says we're going to end in 10 minutes. Okay, we got 10 more minutes left in this. Nope. Don't do that. Did I lose you? Nope, you're there. Okay, so anyways, Elon Musk going through and doing the auditing, and RFK Jr. going after our food, our health products, making sure that our medicines are healthy, making sure that, the things that we're supposed to be taught, we know about. There's dyes in some of the cereals that are illegal in other countries, but we consume it every day. There's chemicals in Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? There's chemicals in our fast food that are illegal to have in other countries. It's poisonous, but we eat it every day like it's the thing to do, because there is you have a military industrial complex. You have a food industrial complex. You have a pharma industrial complex. And these guys, their goal is to take them all on. So you can understand why they want these people killed, all right? That's why they're attacking. Yeah. They're attacking Elon Musk with every department and organization possible to try to shut him down. The same thing with RFK Jr. They're attacking him, and they try to kill Trump multiple times now, and they're not done. But it's so bad right now for Kamala Harris. People don't even realize early voting. Usually, what happens is there you could see where the Democrats should be way ahead. It's not. They're right, almost neck and neck, which is seriously bad news for the Democrats. And it's so bad that they're coming out and saying crap like, Trump said he wanted to be Hitler. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Seriously? This is your desperate attack? And now a woman's like, oh, yeah, Trump fondled me and stuff with Epstein. Except for people are like, well, you're saying this happened in 93, but the house that you're saying that Epstein had, he didn't have till 96. So, it gets debunked quick. People are on their shit, dude, when it comes to politics this time. The Great Awakening was, I can tell you what the Great Awakening was. Elon Musk buying Twitter and keeping it a free speech platform. That's the best thing that ever happened to us. One of these days, people are going to put Elon on, some mountain somewhere along with Trump and RFK Jr., whether you want to believe that or not. But if people really woke up to what they're doing, it's phenomenal if they get there. We'll see what happens. But sweetie, let's just wrap this up real quick. I'm going to tell you this. The Iraqi dinar, it's not going to happen tomorrow or the next week. I mean, as far as I know, but look, this is a pretty big step for them because this allows a lot of liquidity, which is necessary inside of Iraq. Liquidity has always been an issue for Iraq. This will change that. That means more businesses, more people doing exchanges with the currencies. A lot of liquidity in Iraq is what they need. As far as Vietnam is concerned, well, they got a new president there, and I'm curious to see what direction he wants to go into. So it really just makes a difference what that person wants to do. Their currency doesn't have all the problems that Iraqi dinar does. They're just artificially being kept down for a reason so people can get paid in American dollars or politicians and then exchange it and live like kings off their exchange rates. Okay, so that's why they do it, to be honest with you. Zimbabwe.
And I wanted to tell you too, you did an awesome video yesterday on the Prophet.
The Prophet. Yeah, so he sent me that video, and he, Q Idiot, I did Q Idiot, and you guys go check out Q Idiot. But, it's explaining, her saying, oh, that's what she said about me. Oh, yeah, I got the 3-letter agencies going after you. No, you don't. You don't have the State Department. You don't have no 3-letter agencies. You just a freaking liar, dude. She just freaking lies. Everything
She's
that comes
got a GIF. She has a GIF as her contact. Did you see the video Q Idiot did? It was a GIF.
Oh, yeah.
That Sergeant Scott that she was sweating over. Yeah, it's a GIF on it. It was just hilarious, dude. She is like all these people, like to my point, all these people are struggling and they're paying her for like bullshit. Like it's
look at she's like, you need my financial plan. Then later on she's like, well, now you need a part 2. And then you have this tax strategy, crypto strategy, get out of debt strategy that she keeps telling to people. But that's what he tells people. Send it to me. I'll tell you, if it's free on the internet and she's selling it, that's big trouble for her. But the fact that she's telling people to not pay your mortgage, not pay your taxes, she is liable. That is liable. That, oh my God, I can't believe she's that stupid. Well, I can't believe it, but she is. She's, people don't listen to her. Pay your damn mortgage, pay your taxes. Don't listen to her. You're gonna end up in jail because of this idiot. So just be careful from where you get your advice from. Okay, she's
just completely defrauding people, just scamming them. Like I was asking you the other day, I'm like, explain a grifter to me, and you were like, well, she's a perfect example.
That's a perfect example of a grifter. When you say, hey, I have this great, program that's going to help you with everything, right? Yeah, a financial advisor. She claims to be one too. That's another thing. She better be licensed because by law she has to be. When you come on here telling people you are a financial advisor, and you don't have a license, that's illegal. So people could report her if you want to, okay, and recoup your money. So she says all these stupid shit. But to tell people not to pay your mortgage, not to pay your taxes, don't worry about it because the banks are fraudulent and you'll win. She's liable.
There's a scammer that came to her house yesterday that she hasn't paid her mortgage since COVID and she's not going to. Just like that money that she ripped off at the bank. Remember that young kid? Where she got overpaid and the kid almost lost his job and she thought it was like all good. You know what I mean? Like God told me. God doesn't tell you to do that.
No, God, you don't even need God to tell you anything to know that what you did was wrong. And I doubt that she did go back. I think she's just a liar all the time. She kept the money, and then when everybody gave her shit, she was like backpedaling because she realized how bad it looked. Look, she doesn't talk to God. Trust me, God ain't going to talk to her, okay? And do the evil things that she does.
Did you see where she said that you don't have any discernment for God? And I'm thinking to myself, wow.
Is she talking about me specifically?
Yeah, you got to check out the video.
She's a fucking idiot, dude. Trust me. No discernment for God. You don't see me going around misleading and lying people, ripping off the banks, ripping people off, talking about you need this one plan, but now you can't be successful unless there's a part 2. And if you keep screwing with me and you want to go head up with me, I'll end your whole career over there scamming people. Trust me, I'm not the one. I know you're already illegal. You're not registered. I know that for a fact. I can nail you on that. All your stupidity of telling people not to pay their bills, I could bring that up. So don't You don't
And the
want
thing
to.
is, though, that she's saying that me, you, Q idiot, we're all gonna like, God is gonna punish us. God is gonna punish us what, for exposing your bullshit, for for your scams. Like, what is God gonna punish you? And the fact that she laughed when I was in the hospital with bilateral pneumonia, she straight up laughed and was
She's
like,
evil. So anybody
I'm
following her, if
like,
you can't see it, didn't she wish a cute idiot would die? Didn't she say that?
yeah, that he's gonna die a slow death, and then he has hemorrhoids and boils. Like, she needs to take a look at
Yeah,
herself,
that's a
dude.
person talking to God, all right.
She really, and then Pimpy, she's competing with I don't want to say my age, but with somebody a lot younger than her. Do you know what I mean? Like, dude, like, get a life. Like, seriously, get a life. I mean, obviously, you don't have friends because you're on YouTube like every hour. You know what I mean? Trying to figure out a way to scam people. And then
Scam
she
people.
said that I don't do self care. Me, Pimpy, who's an internationally published
I was
model,
like, this.
doesn't do self care.
I
She needs
teased
to
you. I
stop
told you,
putting
look, it was
filters on.
easy, and I told you, look, it was easy to pick on you because I know you're a person who's takes a lot of time in your looks and stuff. It's obvious in the pictures, and so And I said that's why I was just teasing you that way. But you obviously do. She needs to do something with her one eye. I think she's like Illuminati. One eye is always down. Like the eye's got Down syndrome. You ever see it? Like I'm like, why is that fake eyelash so heavy that you can't open up that side of your face? Why is it always down like that? It just looks really terrible. But anyways, look, it's about to cut off here. I appreciate you having
And
you
she
on.
has a filter. Like, yeah.
She needs more than a
We could
filter.
talk.
She needs to take some of that fraudulent money and go fix her face. Okay. Anyways, sweetie, it was nice talking to you. But yeah, look. Iraq, without a doubt, is trudging forward. But now, here we go. We got election seasons coming up. We really got to cross our fingers and see what happens. Because the people that get in office really do make a huge difference on what's going to happen in the future, okay?
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Anyways, let's go
ahead.
cut off. It's going to drop off here anyways. Anyways, that's it for now. We'll get back at you later. I'm out.